everybody, Madison here with Health by Ratio. I'm the founder of Health by Ratio, and we are an online team that work 100% remotely and online with our clients on correcting their body's movement imbalances to rehabilitate away from injuries and move toward full range of stable motion. So we have a team made up of functional movement coaches, corrective exercise specialists, orthopedic movement coaches, licensed physical therapists, functional health coaches, all the above. And our team is what we use to work, and our various expertise are what we use to help support our clients into not just like dealing with an ache and a pain or an injury, but actually to get them functionally healthy and moving in full range of stable motion so that they can get back to whatever activities we love. And today I wanted to cover the topic of solving some neck pain. And this is a topic that I probably revisit every couple of months because it's obviously very, very prevalent. It's a chronic issue and condition that many people deal with. And there's a lot of techniques that we can do around this thing. So I want to talk about how we can solve this thing once and for all, and also give you some stuff that you can do on a daily basis to get some mobility and stability to that area ASAP. So first and foremost, a real quick thing in terms of neck tension and where it comes from. In terms of, it often comes from the postural positions that we're in. And it comes from us often sitting with our computer screens or phone screens or whatever down below eye level. And when that happens, we often find ourselves tilting the head forward and the neck and head are angled forward this way. And for every inch your head moves forward, on average, you put about 10 pounds more pressure on your cervical spine, so the vertebrae in your neck itself. So if I'm here and I move just 1 inch forward, that's going to increase about 10 pounds. Now, if I go 2 inches forward, that's 20 pounds. 3 inches forward, that's 30 pounds. And your head itself is only around 10 pounds. It's what the average human head is, around 10 pounds or so. So your neck is designed to support 10 pounds, not 20, 30, 40 pounds. So it's obviously way more tension over hours and hours a day aggravates this thing. But also, in terms of how we functionally move, many of us that have neck-related issues also have potential, not necessarily pains, but imbalances that are stemming at our pelvis. And that could be stemming from stuff that's happening down at the ground too. But either way, there are some things happening that are impacting how effective our glutes and our core can actually engage and stabilize themselves. And when these glute and core complexes are either shut off, if they're not firing well, or let's say they're asymmetrical, like one side is firing really well, but the other side isn't, or vice versa kind of thing. When our glute and core complexes are either weak and shut off or asymmetrical, then this neck up here and the shoulders up here end up getting impacted because they sit on top of that core and glute complex. This is its foundation. So if this whole thing is out of whack, then this area is going to say, batten down the hatches, let's tighten it up, let's shrug up everything, let's lock and load everything up here because we don't trust this unstable foundation. So ultimately, how we correct neck tension is not by just addressing the neck, which we do, and I'm about to cover some techniques right now to address it in particular, but we also need to address this whole big glute core complex, work down the chain and see, all right, how do we stabilize this? And sometimes that just has to do with work that we need to address around this lumbo-pelvic region. Sometimes it's stemming from imbalances that are coming down at the feet, and often it's a combination of the two. But we want to try to take a look at what's happening down below. This is how we were able to make impacts. So we have a ton of clients that have had chronic neck issues, not just for like a year or two. We're talking like a decade or two or more with like bulge disc, compressed disc, nerves getting pinched and firing left and right. One of our current clients right now, Randy, chronic neck pain for years and years and years, could barely move the head forward or do any form of exercise without having a serious setback that would wreck him for the whole day, and then he'd have to see his chiropractor. Otherwise, the week was ruined, kind of thing. We've had that with clients like Nancy, who are seeing a masseuse multiple times a week, 2 massages a week for years, to just try to maintain this neck. It still didn't even feel that great. It just was enough to release the tension. And we were able to correct her neck pain. This was how other clients like Adam have had these issues where throughout the workday, just tensing everything up, it almost creates a migraine. Lori, another one, a headache, migraine, neck tension that comes from these positions. And so by us correcting the lower body and getting this glute core complex up to par while working on this neck a little bit so that it complemented it, we were able to get these clients away from years of chronic pains and actually get them some relief, and then build on that strength to get them more functional, and then be able to get back to normal lives and activity. Like Randy just went on a huge hike and bike ride, or has been doing these and getting active and exercising again. Nancy's been doing that for a while now, and Adam and Lori are in the same boat. Like they've been able to be active, get out and hiking and ice skating and running and all that good stuff, and their neck is staying stable, and it's because of this work that we're doing around the lumbopelvic region. So this glute core complex is hugely important, and we got to address the imbalances or weaknesses that aren't allowing this thing to fire first and foremost. But some stuff we can actually do on the neck today that will make an impact to this. So I want to go through some mobilizations we can. All this is going to be body weight, by the way. I'm going to do some mobilizations with my own fingers, and I want to show you guys a couple of stretches that complement it. And then we're going to do a couple of quick exercises and all of this body weight. So first and foremost, we're going to do some manual manipulation to the neck itself. So here we got the front of the neck right here. This is your SCM, and then we have also these back of the neck right here. These erectors right here. So for us to release these areas, we can get in with our own fingers, and we can knead into these spots along the front side of my neck, these corners. So I can kind of rub and massage into these areas and find anything that kind of hurts so good. Now, what's a little bit weird about this that you kind of have to be careful about is you don't want to put, obviously, your thumb or finger right next to your throat itself. It might feel like some of those hurt so good spots, you kind of have to push into a point where you might actually feel like you're almost choking yourself. Obviously, we want the pressure to be more on the side. But once you find a tension point, knead into it, massage it out, rub this thing out. And while you're doing that, try to think about diaphragmatic breathing. Breathing through the belly, this relaxes the body a little bit more. And if you're ever wondering, am I breathing through the diaphragm, or am I using the full diaphragm, or am I breathing more through my chest? Put a hand on either side, on the chest, put a hand on the belly, and take a couple of deep breaths. And do I feel my hand on the belly move, or do I feel my hand on the chest move? And if I feel the hand on the chest, that means I'm taking a shallow breath. So I want to focus on expanding and pulling in the belly. Okay, perfect. I'm using the diaphragm. All right. So I'm going to keep breathing through that diaphragm. That helps me relax the body while I massage out that area. So that's going to relax this front side of the neck. Then we can work on the back side of the neck. So facing the other direction, I'm going to work from the base of the skull down the neck all the way down to the base of the neck down here. And so I'm going to kind of just drag my fingers along, crawl along, and find any tension points that hurt so good. And then I can massage them out and work through these with some constant pressure there. Again, focusing on how I breathe to calm this area down. What also can help is I can do a little bit of looking to the left or looking to the right and create a little bit of neck movement. I could also do that a little bit on the front end. If I feel like this is tight, I could start looking a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and create a little bit of movement to the area. Not crazy. I'm not trying to all the way rotate, just a little bit side to side. Helps get that area to calm down. One other area that you might want to release into is your upper traps off to the side here. And so if you're using your fingers and I wanted to get to my left trap, left shoulder here, I just bring my hand up, relaxing this arm, and then I'm going to use my own fingers down that trap to try to see if I can find any of those hurt so good spots. And then I'm going to massage this thing out. And again, I can do a little bit of looking to the left, looking to the right. I can tilt the head a little bit to one side or the other, but big focus is diaphragmatic breathing the whole time here, whole time. Okay, so now I've done some manual work to this. Let's do a couple of quick stretches. And because we're talking about glute and core activation in regards to how this stabilizes the neck, I want to do this standing right now. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wake up the glutes and the core. So as I'm standing here, I'm going to think about clenching my butt cheeks together. Okay, I got those fired up. Now I'm going to think about tensing my core. Just like I'm not pulling the belly in, I'm just tightening it as if someone was about to like punch me in the stomach there. So I got these two things engaged. And I'm going to maintain those activations. And I'm going to just bring my hands behind my back and kind of pin the shoulders back. So I have my hands intertwined. I'm pulling the shoulders back. I'm thinking like big chest here. All right. Now once I'm in this position, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the chin back. So I'm going to get my chin stacked so that my neck's stacked right over my spine there. I don't want to be jutting out in front. going to do just some movement here. So now I just want to get my left ear to my left shoulder, and I'll feel a little bit of a stretch here. If I want, I can pull my right arm down a little bit, and that'll increase the stretch a little more so. I can move in and out of that one side just a little bit, just a few reps. Still trying to focus on breathing through the diaphragm, relaxing this body. Then obviously I'm going to do the other side, and I can pull down on that side a little bit more if I want to, and get that pull. I can move in and out of this guy here. Then I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to go back, and I'm going to angle my chin down as if I was trying to look toward my pocket. So I am chin tucked here. I have my shoulders back, and I rotate that, or I pivot that head to the left, and I rotate that chin down just a little bit. Now I feel more of a stretch, not just along the side here, but I also feel it along the back side of the neck. Now I'll do that to the other side. Tilt back, look down a little bit, and I can move in and out of this stretch just a couple of times to get some blood flow to it and get used to that movement. And then last but not least, so that hit the dead side, and then kind of the back 45-degree angles of the neck on either side. Now I'm going to stretch out the front. So I'm going to get into that chin tuck position. So I'm pulling that chin straight back. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look up at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to try to look up and out at a 45-degree angle. And now I'm going to jut that chin in that direction. So I'm going to extend my chin out in that direction. It's tough for me to talk while I do this. And then I come back in and I'll look back up. So now I'm neutral. I got my chin tucked. I'm going to look up and jut that chin up. And I feel the stretch come right here, especially as I have the shoulders back and I'm squeezing these glutes. It makes it even more effective as I do that. And then obviously I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to get back to neutral. I'm going to look up at a 45-degree angle to my left, jut my chin out that way, keeping my shoulders back and my glutes tight and my core tight. And feel this nice good stretch in the front of the side of my neck there. Okay, so now I've gotten in and out of some movements side to side. I've gotten in and out of some movements to open up the back sides of the neck. I've gone in and out of some movements to open up the front sides of the neck. Okay, so now I got some good blood flow. I did my manual work. I should already be feeling here like it's loosened up. Any pressure that was along the neck, and it should already be starting to feel a little bit better. But now I want to stabilize this thing, okay? So I want to strengthen it into the right position. Now, I told you at the beginning of the call, many of us, the glute and core dysfunction is a big reason when we disengage. We tend to have the shoulders roll forward, the neck tenses up, the head rolls forward. Obviously, looking down at a screen consistently will cause us to put more tension on that neck. So we don't want to be in this position in a nutshell. That's what we're trying to avoid. So we're going to do some chin tucking work to get an actual exercise to support the neck back to neutral. Because the goal would be to bring our screen up to eye line, pull the chin back to neutral, and now can stay stacked underneath this nice supported spine that's also engaged by my core and my glutes here. So I'm going to do some chin tucks, and I'm going to do this in a quadruped position. So I'm getting down onto my knees, and I'm going to get my hands down on the floor. So I'm going to be at 90-degree bend at my knees, and I'm going to have my hands directly underneath my shoulders here. I'm also active on my toes here. I don't have my toes pointed. I'm getting a little bit of flexion here. And before I do anything, I want to create some activation in my back musculature around my shoulders. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to screw my hands into the ground. I'm going to create a little pressure into the ground there. It's going to cause my elbows here to rotate up so that relative to my eye line, it's going to cause my elbow pits to face up above my head there. And that's going to help me pinch my shoulders back a little bit, and I'll feel all this good activation back here. That's the starting point. So I'm in my quadruped position. So here I'm not activating anything. Now I'm going to screw my shoulders into the ground, and I rotate those elbows so that they're facing upward now. And I'm going to pinch the shoulders back as I do so. So now I feel all this tension in my back, my scapulas. I have a good little hip width stance with my feet. I have my toes active. I feel very solid right now. I got some good tension in my core. Now what I'm going to do is let my chin fall straight toward the ground. And then I'm going to pull that chin straight back. Straight down, straight back. The whole time, though, my shoulders aren't shifting here. So as I pull back, I'm not rolling the shoulders forward. And as I go down, pinching them together. And then rolling forward, then pinching together. So I'm not doing this motion. I am keeping the shoulders locked in place and just moving the neck itself. I'm going a little quick there. I'd be a little bit slower and controlled. from the top down view for you guys. I'm right here. I have my good little stance, screwing my shoulders into the ground, pinching the shoulders back a little bit. I let the head fall straight down, and then I pull it straight back. This is a chin tuck against gravity. And go for a good set of 10 to 15 reps. I'm going to feel a little bit of a fatigue back there because I'm engaging the muscle. Then I can get up. I'm going to do a little bit of maybe side-to-side movement. I can look to my left, look to my right. I can go through any of those stretches that I just went through. I can look up and out. I can look down at the pocket. I'm just going to get some blood flow, shake up the shoulders a little bit, relax it. And then I'm going to go in for round 2. And this time, I'm going to do a chin tuck. And then I'm going to, as I'm holding that chin tuck, look a little bit to the left, and then look a little bit to the right, and then I'll release out of it. So I'm going to create a little bit of rotation as I'm holding that position. So I'm in my quadruped position. I'm pinching my shoulders back. I'm going to lock that chin back, still have a good shoulder activation, and I'll look to the left, and I look to the right, and then I release forward. Do it again. I'm going to look to the right, look to the left, release forward. From the top down, I'm in my activation, pull that head up, and look either direction, and then release. So that motion, this chin tuck motion, and pulling the spine into neutral is a great work, especially while you're working on scapular stability as you do it, is a great way to strengthen up that neck after we've done all this mobilization around it and get it stronger in the stable position that it needs to be in. And then the goal is, as you get back to work, to try to get yourself more ergonomic, get your eye line up, pull your cell phone up so that you're up here as you're working on it, or try to bring your computer screen up a little bit so you're not looking down at it. Don't rest your laptop in your lap, that kind of thing. That's just going to jut the neck forward there. So you want to try to stay upright. And then whenever you can, take in those quick breaks, activate the glutes and the core, get in a couple of those stretches, moving in and out of those stretches, get some blood flow to it as you go through all of them. Obviously, my shoulders would be pinned back while I do it, but you go through those and they're easy little resets. Now, ultimately, what we need to do, like we talked about, for our clients like Randy or clients like Lori that have been able to, or Nancy, that have been able to get on top of their neck pain, is beyond just this work. This is all great work. This will help you feel better, but it's not necessarily going to fix this thing long term if we don't address any potential imbalances that are impacting glutes and the core. So if you'd like some help on that, if you're like, you know what, I feel like my glutes and core don't fire very well, or I don't know if they're firing well, or I don't know if I feel like one side's more active than the other and I feel out of balance, I'm not sure what's going on. That's why my team and I, we offer free consultation calls. And you're more than welcome to schedule a call with us. There's 2 that we do. The first call is just a quick call where we touch base and we want to get on the same page with what your body's been through, what's impacted it over the years, what your health background is with the physical body. And then obviously what your goals are, the direction you want to go, and that kind of stuff. So it's a quick information gathering call for us to be on the same page with what you've been through and where you want to go. Then the second call is a video assessment where you and I connect over video, and I put you through a number of full body assessments from head to toe. We take a look at your various ranges of motion and the way this body moves in a lot of functional ways. And we can use that information on that call to actually talk about not only how your body's moving, but why it's moving the way that it is. And then most importantly, we create a game plan together on what kind of mobility techniques and what exercise you need to do to get this thing moving back to full range of stable motion. And all that's free. We just do that because we like giving that information out. So if you're interested in scheduling that, we will put a link to our calendar. You can figure out a day and time that works best for you, and we'd be more than happy to help with you. Or if you have some questions on this topic or any other topics for that matter, feel free. You can type in the chat below the video and in the comments, and feel free to ask away. We'd be more than happy to answer any questions, or if it has to do with something else, doing a different Facebook/Instagram live or a YouTube post or whatever on a different topic altogether, if it's something that you'd like to hear from. So let us know. Outside of that, guys, hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon.